Motocross Championship Series by FMF. We're at Hangtown, one of the more famous stops on the entire motocross tour, to see if Ricky Carmichael can do it again in Moto 2. The winner of Moto number 1 convincingly. Good start by the number 4 Suzuki as he heads into turn number 1. Maybe not the first guy in. Oh, down they go. Kyle Lewis, number 23. He can't get past turn number 1 here in the second moto.
And it's usually Kyle Lewis who pulls the whole shot, but this time Ricky Carmichael out front. I don't see Fonseca anywhere in there, so Carmichael with the lead. Once again, he has all the players there. Windham's there. James Stewart is there to the left of your screen, and so is Chad Reed. So I don't know if Ricky will be able to win this moto quite as easily with all those guys getting through that corner that cost him the first moto, but all the players are in position to win this moto. If Ricky wins this one, he is for sure the man today.
Chad Reed is there. John Dowd, who started right alongside Ricky Carmichael, is running in 4th spot. There goes James Bubba Stewart. But Carmichael starting to pull out a lead. Look how deep the ruts have gotten now. David Bailey, they were bad enough in Moto 1. They're axle deep minimum now.
And it's a lot rougher too. Look at the choice you have going into those. Now that when they get that deep, they start dragging the bike, and you have to adjust your line accordingly, run your front wheel a little bit higher up in the rut, and Ricky is attacking these ruts so aggressive. It's as though he's riding a 125 right now, and he's already gapped those guys in that S-turn section.
He pointed into one of those turns, and all you've got is bad and ugly as choices. Here's Chad Reed in 2nd position, not too far behind. Kevin Windham in 3rd, pretty evenly paced 1-2-3 situation right now, and James Bubba Stewart still thrilling the crowd here, but we understand in addition to trying to recover from some injuries, he's also not feeling very well.
Now I heard he threw up all night, food poisoning or something is what they suspect, and after that hard ride in the first moto, I'd throw up too. I heard he threw up between motos, so he is not feeling 100%, but you can't help it right now but to go 100% because there's everybody right there in front of him. Carmichael, Windham, Chad. If you can get around Ferry real quick and get to those guys, you might have something for him.
Timmy Ferry holding on to the spot right now that Bubba Stewart wants. Going for a tear-off there. It looked like in the air, at least some adjustment. Took his hand off the bar just for a moment. Can't do that very often. Again, through the deep ruts here, Timmy Ferry holding off James Bubba Stewart for 4th spot at the moment.
See what I love about James? He never follows. He's got the guy in front of him going, which way to go? What's he doing back there? He's trying to cover the line and think about him. That's what you want to do. You want to make the rider in front of you nervous, start riding your race. And, you know, plus James doesn't like getting roosted and getting dirty either, so he's just trying to find some other line and make something happen. And I said he might have something for these guys. The question is how long. He's definitely not feeling that well, but it looks good right at the moment.
Side by side through the ruts now. Different ruts, different path. But James Bubba Stewart with the inside line on the left-hander that came up out of one of those S sections takes over the number 4 spot. Now he's got Kevin Windham in front of him and not far, but Timmy Ferry's not going to lay down for him either. He's going to come right back up behind James Stewart.
Ferry, I talked about in the first moto, he's been riding a lot faster lately. He's finally healthy. I've seen him in some testing. He looks about as fast as his teammate Chad Reed a few of the times. I actually made a comment to him. He goes, well, I'm just healthy for once. And he's able to start to show his real riding ability. I think these guys got a little bit of edge on him, but it's got to be encouraging for Timmy, who's had such a long season last year of injuries. He's kind of riding mid-pack to actually be able to really race with these guys now. And I thought James would have pulled away more than this by now.
Looking good. James Bubba Stewart took the position, but ever since then, Timmy Ferry's been right behind him. We go up and take a look at how far behind 3rd place they are. There's Kevin Windham on his Honda 4-stroke, and just in front of him, it's Chad Reed, and some distance in front of Reed, it's Ricky Carmichael. So we've got a race here in Moto 2, unlike the first time around when Carmichael was all alone.
Look at how fast, man. You know what's beautiful to watch is how smooth he is through there and how high he gets his foot. Because he's anticipating how deep that rut's going to be, and then just jumps all the way down that hill over one of the braking bumps, so it doesn't foul with him getting into the rut straight. Able to get a good, strong run up the hill. Very crucial for James on 250 to get out and over that step up clean, so he can get all that power to the ground up the hill where these guys are pulling him on 450.
Starting to step away just a little bit from Timmy Ferry. Here's Chad Reed, and he is running in 2nd position right now. We don't see Ricky Carmichael in front of him because Carmichael started to open up a gap, and Chad Reed has got enough of a problem trying to hold off Kevin Windham for 2nd.
Well, what was encouraging to see Kevin do was when he jumped in behind Ricky in that first moto, he showed he had the speed. He didn't stay there the whole moto. He probably, you know, there was no reason to. I would have, just to bother Ricky a little bit and let him know, hey, that second moto is going to be tough on you. And, you know, he decided to lay up a little bit and save his energy for this moto, and he's going to need it to fight Chad. He seems to be doing better and better as the day progresses.
Amazing how deep the ruts are there. Then you've got bumps to contend with. James Bubba Stewart, look how much faster he came through that same section than Kevin Windham. Yeah, he's on the gas, but here's Ricky Carmichael, who makes it look so easy with how smooth he is. Chad Reed is really not that far behind, still in contention, but as long as he and Windham are going to be racing, Carmichael can slip away. Look at Bubba Stewart go.
Woo. This kid, he came by me yesterday in practice near the finish line. It was just like, what in the heck just went past me? It was so noisy. The people were screaming. He was lightning fast. It was through here. He actually tripled it, landed in the berm wide open, scrubbed the face of this jump so hard he turned the steering to the lock. And everyone was just left standing there in disbelief and screaming, and he was still slower than Carmichael. So it just gives you an idea of how hard he has to ride that 250 to maintain with these guys on those big 450s.
Chad Reed, Kevin Windham, and now James Bubba Stewart. You can call it a battle for second three ways here as Windham starts to make up some ground on Reed. I think he's studying that number 22 Yamaha and has found a weakness he can exploit.
Well, these guys battled last year a little bit, and Kevin got the nod. So as long as he can stay in contact with Chad, I think his confidence will stay intact. James isn't bothering him just yet, but the story here is Brian Carmichael's inching away.
And with that, we'll take a short commercial break. We'll watch this battle for second position. Everybody else at trackside trying to do their best for their riders. The Prairie City Recreational Park near Sacramento, California. And the AMA Motocross Series continues with Ricky Carmichael looking to go 2 for 2 here at Hangtown. He already won the first moto in convincing fashion. He has a pretty sizable lead here and could be on his way to another first overall.
Yeah, I don't see any way anybody's going to catch him now. His gap is, half what he had the first moto, partially because all the contenders are back there. They didn't have problems this time. But still, I mean, it's enough time for him to stall the bike in one of these ruts, start it, and keep going. And leaders, or the second place battle, when they come through, they wouldn't even realize he had a problem.
Chad Reed and Kevin Windham, speaking of the battle for second. Windham making some progress right there and almost gets a wheel alongside Reed, who stalls out a little bit in the right-hander. Now Windham falls in line there in the same rut there, and he's looking for an opportunity. No, he's got the inside line here, and Chad Reed holds him up, and here comes Windham on a real hurry.
He'll have the inside in the next corner if he can keep it pinned, and it works. Yeah, some of the riders don't want to go wide in that sweeper because it's just too long of a racetrack, but in that particular case right there, Kevin just drifted over the main line and positioned himself to the inside in the next corner, and Chad couldn't square him back off.
Heard the big crowd really come alive here as Kevin Windham made a pass for second position. They haven't seen a lot of passes for position yet today in the 250 motocross. But now Chad Reed falling back just a little bit to gather himself, come after Windham again. Here comes James Bubba Stewart. Reed's going to have that to worry about here shortly.
He doesn't look the same as he did earlier, though. He just doesn't quite have the snap. He's a little bit sloppier than usual. I just don't think he feels good, Brian. I mean, normally he'd be battling with those guys, but it's either the line, something's not quite right with him, and otherwise he'd be in the middle of this right here. And I kind of get the feeling that Chad is like, I'll hold Kevin off as long as I can, but once Kevin made that pass, it looks like he's still trying to hold James off, but it doesn't look like he has anything for Kevin. This is a bummer.
Timmy Ferry is running in 5th position right now, but he's off the track with a machine that's not running. He's going to try to give it a kick here, but it could be that problems are going to take Timmy Ferry right out of this race when he had a good finish going.
That's a bummer, too, because I just talked about how, everything's starting to run right in his program. He's healthy, and then the bike lets him down. All these riders may have a problem like that through the season. They got, 22 more motos to go after this, and anything can happen. So you just got to stay in it. Keep your hopes up that the next motos and the next rounds are going to be better.
Michael Byrne running in 7th position right now. He's got a little bit of a battle going on with Ernesto Fonseca.
It's cool to see Ernesto on that big 450. I asked him, I saw him at the restaurant last night and said, hey, how do you like that thing? He just goes, it's fast. It's really fast. Last year he rode the 250, and he's got great throttle control, really good lines. He's able to hop over braking bumps, use a little finesse, and I think he's able to use that power to his advantage, but he's still getting used to how fast it is.
Racers love fast motorcycles. Be careful what you ask for. Make it faster, they say, and when the mechanics do, it might be a little bit of a surprise. So Ernesto Fonseca and Michael Byrne battling for position here at Hangtown.
Byrne sandwiched in between all these 450s on his 250, just like Stewart. Kind of surprised, actually, that Kawasaki didn't just hurry up a little bit and try to get their 450 program together, but you know, that must say a lot for them and the confidence they have in their 250. You know, they got pretty good starts, both starts. Stewart was in the top 5.